5 steps to demonstrating any exercises. Now, with these 5 steps, I guarantee your client is going to understand the movement quicker and better, therefore not needing as many corrections, therefore getting better results and responses, which is what you are looking for. So let's go through those 5 steps. Number 1, you're going to state the exercise name. Now, no matter how complicated that exercise is, by utilizing the name, we're drilling it into their head so that when they see it on a YouTube video, on an Instagram reel, in person, on a class, on a whiteboard, whatever it may be, now they have that association of what that exercise is. So by saying the name, you are giving them the benefit of understanding at a higher level, which is what you want. The second thing you're going to do is explain either, 1, the purpose of that exercise, or you're going to give them the muscle focus with where it is going to be. I personally tend to use the muscle focus, but I also keep it really simple, right? We do not need to go into the depths of what the muscles are that are being utilized. We're trying to get a big block, big picture frame so that the client understands what it is. So for example, we're going to be like, all right, today we are doing RDLs. We're going to target the hamstrings, and I'm going to physically make contact with my hamstring, making the sound, making the visual, making the name all connect so that that client is very aware of this is what we're working, this is what we're going to feel. The more that you do that, the better it's going to be. You could also say, we're working in RDL today, so you're going to feel that hip hinge. That also would work if that is the direction you're trying to go, either the purpose or the actual area of the body that you're trying to target from a muscle perspective. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to demonstrate 2 to 4 reps. So by repeating the repetition, all right, so today we're going to do, step 1, an RDL. We're going to really be targeting the hamstrings here, and we're going to feel as we shift back into our hips. And now I'm going to keep talking as I demonstrate the movement with really light weight so that I am not out of breath, so that I can give them 2 to 4 cues that work well for them. What are the simplest things that you want? So let's look at an RDL. I'm going to say, I want your feet to line up on train tracks so that they're nice and straight. I want you to shift your hips back like you're closing a car door with your butt. And I want your chest up so that I can see the logo on your shirt. I've given them 3 very relatable cues: train tracks, closing a door with their butt, chest up so I can see the logo. I'm not saying anything that is more technical than what they would need. From there, I'm going to go on to step number 4, which is I'm going to actually say one thing that I want them to avoid. So we want to, as many times as possible, just say the things that are positive, that are going to actually stick in their heads. Because if we say too many negative things, I don't want you to round over at your shoulders. I don't want you to round at your lower back. I don't want you to lock out your knees. They're going to naturally, especially if they've got more exercises in their brain with cues that follow, just remember not the don't, but whatever it is you said after that. So if I give them the one thing that I'm most certainly wanting them to avoid or feel, then that allows me to circle back and give the most important things. So with an RDL, I may say that I want you to really avoid rounding your back, but then I tell them what to do after that by pulling your shoulder blades back, by showing me the logo on your shirt, whatever your cues are with that exercise. So 1 don't or 1 avoid. Now it could be also an avoid of feeling. I want you to avoid feeling this in your lower back. If you are, come get me so we can make sure we're doing things right. Now you've given them a, ooh, that is a red flag. So that the next day it's not like, yeah, those RDLs were great. I mean, my back is really sore, but that's where I was supposed to feel it. So I know I need to work that area. And you're going, that's not what our purpose was. So you want to give them either that one thing to not do or avoid, or that one thing to not feel, but just one. And then you finish off the last thing that is most important for them to remember. You've got to circle it back with a positive, with a final piece. Whatever we hear last is what we remember. So with an RDL, I'm going to, step 1, state the name. All right, so we're working RDLs today. Really going to target the hamstrings here. It's going to be great. We're going to really focus on closing a door with our butt. So it's a really deep hinge. I want you to think inhale on the way down, proud chest so I can see that logo, and snap the hips on through. Now I want you to avoid feeling this in your lower back. If we are, we may be rounding, pull back into the shoulder blades, but come get me if you are. So the last thing, make sure you're doing an exhale as we drive on up through this movement pattern. All right, let's get it. So now I've finished that loop. So I challenge you to follow the 5-step process. Clients will be able to master those movements in no time, and you'll be able to give them even more complex moves and get them better results.